When I was 21, I had a job offer withdrawn because I told them I was pregnant. Now, I get that was the 90s, but shit like that still happens. Like when I was fired because I refused the sexual advances of my CEO, or when I found out I was being paid $800 less a day than a guy doing exactly the same job as me. Yes, well, cupcakes and celebrations on International Women's Day, one day a year, is not going to cut it any longer. We are still so far from inclusion, so let me explain to you what I mean by inclusion. Where diversity is the variation of difference and equity is the achievement of equal outcomes for everyone, belonging is that sense of security and acceptance, inclusion is the how we do that for our people and our organisation. So inclusion is literally the how, the processes we put in place, the decisions we make, the actions we take, and the behaviours that we demonstrate. Now, when surveyed, 9 out of 10 people now say that they believe in the value of inclusion. Just in case you're that 1 in 10, let me help you out. Inclusion will make you more money, it'll likely prevent you from getting sued, and it's basically just the right thing to do. But you see, 6 out of 10 people will now say that they just don't yet know how to include people that are different to them. Unsurprising, really. There's gender, race, ethnicity, disability, Indigenous, neurodiversity, veteran status, mental illness. Actually, there's 54 identities, or what I like to call them, labels. Now take those 54 labels and multiply them by the infinite possible combination. That label approach to DEI is getting in the way. Your gender event, your sexual LGBTQI event, your disability project, they're all trying to achieve the same thing, right? Yeah. So then what about your gender diverse Indigenous person with ADHD and dyslexia? How is your silent approach to inclusion going to meet their needs? You are more than a label, we are all more than a label, and it's time that we include the needs of the whole person and all people at the same time. Now, in my research and practice, I've identified the 8 inclusion needs of all people. It takes Kimberly Crenshaw's research on intersectionality and operationalises it in such a way that makes it possible, simple and practical to include the needs of all people and all intersectionalities at the same time. So, this is interactive, and I'm hoping you're going to play along with me. You're going to put your scientific lab coats on and play along. When I share one of the inclusion needs with you, if it's important for you to thrive, please stand up. The first one, access. Do you need to be able to see? Do you need to be able to hear? And do you need to be able to physically get in the room? Please, stand up if that's important for you to thrive. Thanks for playing along. 2, space. Do you need to be physically safe at work? I'd stay standing. Do you need to be physically safe at work? Do you need to be psychologically safe in your space? I can still see you standing. Thank you for continuing to play along. 3, do you need opportunities to thrive in life and career? I mean, could you be where you are today without having a single opportunity? We're all on the same page. That's great. 4, allowance. Have you ever needed an allowance? Maybe a little flexibility to change a meeting time, maybe a stand-up desk, maybe a restroom break, or perhaps to work from home so you could wait for the plumber. Yeah, okay, good, me too, allowance. 5 is representation. Do you need to be seen? Do you need to be heard? Do you need to be valued for your contribution? Yeah, me too. The 6th need is language. Now, I appreciate I have a completely different accent to most of you, I think bar one. If I was speaking an obscure foreign language, it'd be a lot harder to understand me today, right? So do you need to know what's being said and understand what's being said at work? No one's sitting down, that's great. 7, respect. Do you need to feel respected? I mean, it's pretty hard to thrive when you're being disrespected. And the 8th inclusion need of all people is support. Have you ever needed a bit of training, development, a bit of coaching, maybe tech support, maybe HR support, or maybe a stepladder to reach up the top of the cupboard? That's support. Standing ovation, thank you. Equity can't wait. It's time we throw away the labels and include the needs of all people now. And if you do that, Everyone can thrive, and your organisation will too. Thank you.